Brother has not been this fired up in a long time. It's just something about being an American, man. I've got to tell you. All that rioting in the streets and all this stuff of social justice, There's one thing that just makes Americans in general mad, and that is injustice. We hate to see laws for two people. It really drives us nuts, and it's been like this since the inception of our country. We're not communists. We're law abiders. And if you got to obey the law, you got to obey the law. Everybody, the law applies the same, and that is just the law. That's not communism. Communism actually is where you have two ways of law. You have, for the people in the Politburo, and then everybody else. There's always an elite. There's always an elite. There's always an elite. But if you are a land of laws, which we are, then the laws apply to the wealthy as well as the poor. The evil ones have created this whole bureaucracy of legislature and of just constantly writing bills and making more laws and making more laws. In the state of Louisiana, we come out with 2,000 to 3,000 more laws every single year out of Somerset when we were in session. And I asked my senator that I was working for, I was like, 90% of what we pass, we can't afford. Those are called, what was the name that we used to give it? It was just so silly. Unfunded liabilities, unfunded liabilities. That's what they call it. Pass a law. Well, look, we can't pay for it. It'll be a law, or we can't enforce it, but it'll be a law in the books. And that's just ridiculous. Hey, Wallster. Hey, Crumb Snatcher. Yep, Superman had the same problem. And hello, Sparkles. And hello, Angel Hope. It's been so long. It's good to see you. Oh, the Kennesaw Law? That is a great law. Kitty, I used to live in Ackworth, which is the next city after Kennesaw. Next big city. Let's see. Kennesaw? Yeah, Ackworth, going north, was the next city. I lived in Ackworth, and yeah, Kennesaw. Everybody's armed to the teeth. Remember the old shop owner of that Rebel place? He walked around with 2 6-shooters. He was something. But in Georgia, I was armed. I had an M16, AR-15, semi-automatic. It went pew, pew, pew. It wouldn't go pew, 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 pew. Wasn't allowed to do that. But yeah, and I've told the story that my friends in Marietta, who are owners of a just majestic, drop-dead antebellum home. Has so much history. Just walking the grounds of that place is just epic. But the father was a great gun enthusiast, even designed and improved upon weapons, and had his own boring utensil and everything. That man was an engineer. He was just brilliant. So the family that's there, around there, has an armory. And the wife of my friend, she's okay with guns. She's not a gun enthusiast per se. Oakton. It's called Oakton. Oakton. It's in Marietta, between Ackworth and Marietta, and it's just a great place. Wonderful friends. Let me know if you want to go take a look. The owners love to show it off, and they're always making new friends, Kitty. And they're just great salt of the earth people. Great salt of the earth people, truly. And so the Antifa people started leaving Atlanta, and they're coming for the suburbs, and they're coming from Marietta, and he's in the closet, just pulling out gun, handguns over here, rifles over here, semi-automatics over here, gun, ammo. The wife would usually be a little bit apprehensive, but she was like, okay, here, ammo. We're not down for that stuff that they're doing. We're a law-abiding people, and they want to create a whole separate law, and we should be applying the law of those people like we would to anybody else. And hopefully this will stop very soon, this nonsense of having two paths of law, where the leftist Democrats have one set of laws that are not enforced on them, and every single law imaginable, inventable, is applied to a conservative. That's where you have civil war. That's exactly how you create a civil war, which is what they've wanted to do for a long time. And they've wanted to take our guns. Every time they want to take our guns, we buy more guns. It's a Pavlovian effect at this point. Tim Pool owns guns now. Tim Pool a year ago, well, I don't know about everybody having those guns. There's just too many guns. Guns kill people. And then the riots started coming close to him. That week, he wasn't buying the gun he wanted. He was only buying the gun that was on the shelf that he could that he was okay with. Handguns. Yeah, we're fundamentally Americans, and they've taught us some silly nonsense. But when push comes to shove and the fight is on, an American is going to want his guns and is going to fight the enemy without or within. And the reason I'm going on about this is about Austin Steinbart, and every show that I do from now on until he is free, I'm going to talk about the political prisoner that we have in America called Austin Steinbart. And by the end of this week, I would like to ask the Fellowship of the Crumb, especially those in America, to make some calls to some lawmakers, trying to get them to explain to us why this American citizen is sitting in a jail right now. Hey, Maximus. Oh, you speak American? Oh, I didn't know you were bilingual. Well, no, you speak Spanish very well. You're trilingual. Well, fantastic. And that helps a lot because there's a lot of people in England proper that I really can't understand. We have a Scottish interpreter, so if any of the fellows, the Crumb, needs to interact with the Scots, we have a Scottish interpreter, and we have 4 languages. But I think the most valuable one is British English, which you can bring to the team. I remember one of my aunt's favorite stories is that she came from New York to London and was at got in London, got a taxi, and went to the outskirts of London to their hotel, a manor that they were staying at. And she got there, and they were booked for 3 weeks. They were on a grand tour. But it took my aunt and the patron, the owner of the establishment, about a week to understand themselves. And it takes an American and a Brit about a week for the synchronicity of language. But man, first time the Brits come to England, to the United States, especially those that haven't watched a lot of American movies, they don't understand a word we're saying. And it's the same when we go over there. It's great. It's brilliant. As Winston Churchill said, two great nations separated by a common language. So we have done a lot of analysis so far with Austin's situation, and we have come to the grand conclusion that this is outrageous. And one of the things that really has just, made me madder than a wet hen on a cold Saturday morning is whatever the agreement is for bail. I'm trying to see if I have it open. If not, I'll find it quick. This is just ludicrous. And these attorneys, I'm sure they're brilliant people, but they know there's a rail going on. Hey, Brenda. Scots are very difficult. Oh, the Bruce, if he plays this back, he's going to be like, I should have been on here live. I should have been on here live. Slander. Slander. All right. Blah, 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 blah. All right, here are the conditions of release. Is that these guys? All right, this is the bullshit. Don't worry. The video is already demonetized on the outset. If you notice, every time a video starts, we have about 3 to 5 people that give it a thumbs down even before the video, even before I come on live. And then every video I do is demonetized. Why? Because that letter right up there, that letter in the red, white, and blue scares the holy bejesus out of YouTube, Facebook. Instagram hasn't gone crazy yet, but Twitter, they hate that. Oh, they hate that. They hate that letter. All right. Let me tell you about this. I'm not going to cuss because some of you really upsets you. But in the blasphemous conditions for bail, which says to not commit any federal, state, or local crimes, why do you have to write that? Why is that a condition for bail? That's just a condition for being a citizen. What they've done is to make it impossible to be a citizen, okay? Cooperate in the collection of DNA samples. The government has no right to my DNA. And that should not be a precursor to my freedom. Come on, man. Can you understand why I'm hot? Blah, blah, not travel, blah, 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 blah. And then here, avoid all direct, indirect contact with the victim company data. So, as a condition for this man's freedom, who shouldn't be arrested in the first place for the charges that he's being charged for, he should be arrested for transporting marijuana from Mexico to the United States. He should be in jail for saying, well, he shouldn't be in jail for that. He should be investigated and ultimately indicted for that. He should be investigated and indicted for saying he's a defense intelligence agent. Do you see where I'm going with this? He has told those things to the face of federal officers. They're like, mm-hmm. He should be indicted and going to jail for posting HIPAA violations, personal medical history, on the interwebs, on the YouTubes. Is he being done for that? No. He is being done because his company Ditto is holding his file. Now, one of the cornerstones of our law is that we face our accuser. And they're so horrendous about this bullshit law. I say bullshit because they're making 14-year-old girls, 13-year-old girls, 11-year-old girls go on the witness stand and testify against their molesters, against the pedophiles who molested them. Okay? And this slimy FBI, Department of Justice district on the complaint refused to identify who the complaining company was. The complaining company went as complaining, or the victim company was identified as Company B and never identified. Neither Company A nor Company B were identified in this, but boy, the U.S. citizen was identified. His address is in here unredacted. His email address is in here unredacted. The U.S. citizen who has rights, who has procedural and civil rights. No, they don't have any right to that stuff. I'm sorry they took that from you, Window. But no, they don't have. We stand up for this stuff. But the only reason that Austin submitted to this nonsense is that he wants to be arrested. I mean, he doesn't want to, but that's his job. That's an unfortunate job that he has. It's very, very complicated. And just look at this. Hey, he is a free man. He is accused. You are innocent in the United States of America until you are proven guilty by a court of law. All of this is unconstitutional. All of this violates his First Amendment rights. There's no, in that complaint, there is no criminal act that says he is a threat to society. Is he a threat to people that are messing with him? Well, yeah. Folks that mess with me? I think you get the idea. Yolanda Lucas, thank you for being here and coming to the Breadcrumbs Project. Welcome to the Fellowship of the Crumb. I am Captain Crumb, and this is the Breadcrumbs Project. And this is what we do. We find crumbs of truth and make the whole loaf out of it. But I'm unique in all of this. I am very unique because if anybody is familiar with the Q web, the Q map, there's the Q web, which is the colorful map, and then there's the black and white one, which is also a Q map, the Great Awakening. The Q web is our past, and up to our immediate past, and then the Great Awakening is our future. And the Q drops, which we will be studying today momentarily, is our present. And today we started with Q drop number 1, Yolanda, and we are up to Q drop 250. And currently, we are on Q drop 4,740. So yes, I am ambitious. But it's a fascinating history. It's a fascinating history lesson to go through, Yolanda. So welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much. And but I'm all, we do all these things, but Austin has left me a lot of breadcrumbs, and I'm following him, and he has a great team that is personally dedicated to him. I don't know the man, never met him, and the person that he is on the internet and the YouTubes, pretty funny, super nerdy. That's not who he is, but he plays his part, and so yeah, he has people that are personally dedicated to him. They love him so much as a human being. So that right there speaks a lot to me. There's a lot of people that hate him too. And just like Winston Churchill said, if you haven't pissed somebody off, then you haven't stood for anything. Okay, Winston didn't use that language, but if you haven't made someone angry, then you haven't stood for anything, is basically what he said. So we're doing a lot on this project, but we have to get Austin free. That is fundamental. That is fundamental, and that I cannot rest until it happens. Man, I live a very good life. I'm here in Spain, on the coast of Spain. My first broadcast live stream starts at 10. My first appointment today was at 12:30. I'm semi-retired. I think good thoughts. I do good deeds. I say good words. I got it easy. Woke up at 4:30 this morning. I'm like, come on, man, let me sleep a little bit more. No, Austin's in jail. Oh, come on. Seriously? Yep, Austin's in jail. He doesn't get the nice warm bed that you do. Make coffee. Get to work. So yeah, I can't sleep. I can't sleep. I will rest, but I'll be up early. I will be on the air. I will be transmitting. I will be getting the story out, and I will be working these angles, and I'll pick up all the breadcrumbs that Austin has left for me, and I will build the truth. And believe me, there are many crumbs that he's left behind. Okay, there's so much that you guys don't know, that I didn't know, that I've just found out. So we're going to be chasing that dog every day. At least one show a day is going to be bringing out the truths and the breadcrumbs that Austin has left, and that has caused all of this shitstorm. And he wants this to happen. Hey, Tab Boy. Brother, oh man, thank you for burning the midnight candle for this. Tap Boy, start spreading the news in Australia too, and just raise awareness that in America there is an obvious political prisoner because he has made the system mad. This is a national embarrassment. In America, you can make the system mad. You can be a provocateur. Look at what BLM's been doing with, and Antifa's been doing with cops in their faces, blah, 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 and you can't say anything. You should be better trained, blah, blah, blah. And this guy has been sandpapering their ass since March 7th. Austin became active in March, his first YouTubes. And it didn't take but a couple of YouTubes before he was in cuffs, in jail. So he's violated this couple times. And it's ridiculous. I mean, all of this is nonsense. All he should do is sign something that says, are you going to be back? Yep, I'll be back. But a complaint isn't even enough for this, by the way. An indictment is what he has to come back for. A complaint is not enough to prosecute in the federal government. You have to have an indictment. Sweet. I'll take a look at that. Some people have been sending me some information about those videos. We'll definitely take a look at it. Oh, maritime. Yeah, what they've done with DNA is ridiculous, and we let them. That's the sad thing. They've put so much bureaucracy in between we the people and and our constitutional rights, and this is indicative of it. That it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. I'm a law and order guy. I'm a big law and order guy, but I'm also a constitutionalist. I'm a patriot, and when I see injustice, I know it. And there are consume no alcohol. Why? Why can't Austin have a drink? He has an Arizona medical license to smoke marijuana. Why can't he do that? Because it's a trap. Now, all of this on a complaint. And you know what? They can't afford for this to go to a grand jury. They're in full panic mode right now because they know they can't put this in front of a grand jury. There's no way a grand jury will indict on the grounds of what their complaint is. The complaint is so full of holes. So this is an injustice. Austin must be free. And it is my solemn sworn duty to have him free by Friday. I want him in the arms of his girlfriend and his family by Friday. And I hope all of you will support me on it. I don't know what you're going to do yet, but all of those that will support us on this, I will have plans for you by tomorrow, latest day after tomorrow, on what we're going to do. But we have to call attention to this. We have to turn a flashlight on to the corners of these injustices, because this injustice is pointing to corruption. Yeah? This injustice is pointing to corruption. All right, any questions? Any questions? We have work to do, Crumbs. We have work to do. All right, let's do our little dive into our drops for today. We're starting at drop 250. And we don't have anything in the spreadsheet for this. Date Peter Strokes and Comey cleared Wiener emails. Date Strokes' wife was promoted. Do you believe in coincidences? No, not really, especially when it comes to people like these. That boy, you're right. I don't have to watch the video to agree with that, but I will do my best I can to get to it. Honestly, Tab Boy, right now I've got so much other investigation work that I have to do with Austin's situation, and so much work that I do have to do that. So right now, any new videos that I'm doing, I'm not being rude, but email me the videos, and I'll put them in your folder, and I will go back to all of the videos that you're telling me about. Please email me, info@thebreadcrumbsallofusproject.com. info@thebreadcrumbsproject.com. All right, 251. Review Red Stringer. Focus on Hussein AIDS video. Cross-reference. Date of Stringer versus video. Learn to decipher. News unlocks messages. Find the keystone. Where's the Bruce? Keystone's all Scottish. It's really Roman to begin with, but it just has more with the Scots. Not giving any slight to Cornwall, Maximus. No slight to Cornwall. Oh, come on. Why did you go back to 1028? Oh, duh. Still loading. All right. We'll go on to 252 while all that still loads. Red Cross is corrupt and used as a piggy bank. Guess that. Boom. Boom! Oh my gosh, I saw that 2 days ago in another Q post as I was doing my studies. Oh, this is horrible, man. Talk about a childhood. Talk about just a crushing emotional childhood devastation. The Red Cross is corrupt and used as a piggy bank. So, and what it means is it's used for cash laundering. So the corrupt Soros, the corrupt Rothschilds, the corrupt Saudis would put money in there, and then suddenly a program that would benefit the people would, as a peace initiative, would show up in an area that was part of the deal. Oh, wow, Tap Boy, you've been knowing that too? Yeah, that's what I heard. Octagon Switzerland was responsible for Lady Di's death, Princess Di's death. Oh, that's all right. Let's skim down to 1205. What a heartbreaker. Now, why your locks? Spreadsheet. All right, very good. We are going to 1205. December 5th, where are you? And thank the stars for the spreadsheet. Wow. Yeah, this Q is a busy person. 1122. All right, 12.5. All right, Red Cross, Red, North Korea, Hussein, Asia. Why was Stringer sent out? Decode new unlocks. That was yesterday's stuff. All right. Where is the Red Cross? Geneva, Switzerland. Geneva, Switzerland. Tap Boy, okay. All right, this is extra information. So this isn't really Q direct, but these are people that are very aware, volunteers, what they call open answers. All right, this is news to me, so. From CBTS, in short, the Red Cross has research labs all over the world. Remember HIV originally only affected rhesus simian monkeys? The virus was genetically altered to affect humans. This virus was genetically altered to affect humans. They did this with Ebola, Black Death, Zika virus, and Alzheimer's, which originated from mad cow. All of these diseases were originally found in the animal kingdom but mutated into forms that would infect people. The Red Cross takes up donations for research. However, the cures were already made before the diseases were released. So these charities, Red Cross, YMCA, United Way, all funnel money into the system which launders it. They sell expensive treatments for these diseases without actually curing them. That's true. The control for the cures, the control the cures themselves. Wow. This one big for-profit blood cult. They harvest human blood for consumption, red wine, as it's called in Hollywood. They traffic people. They spread genetically engineering diseases, market expensive treatments, while keeping all cures private within the cartel. Red Cross infers North Korea as human trafficking hub. Red is code for child trafficking, as in red light district. Oh my lord. 2 million estimated trafficked women and children moved into red light districts by gangs. There are chapters of the Red Cross and Red Crescent all over the world. Everywhere there's a disaster, chaos, destabilization, lost and rescued children, the Red Cross is there. Holy begonias. Where did the name the Red Cross come from? Hospitaliers. The Hospitaliers, which were an offshoot of the Knights Templar. It's just not far, guys. The Hospitaliers, the Hospitaliers. Yeah, and so it starts off good, and then they corrupt it. Starts off good, they corrupt it. Starts off good, they corrupt it. Runs deep. Children pray. Oh my lord. Funds raised versus distribution. Oversight? No, it's called corruption. All right. Who knows where the bodies are buried? Flynn. Flynn is safe. We protect our patriots. And the only... Where are we in... All right, so there's a bunch of drops that we didn't analyze. We'll go through those right now. All right, so we did this one, relevant. Fly, Roth's fly. Q. And so that's Q doing a dig at the Roth family, especially Lynn the Rothschild. And she was trying to warn Big Bill, Eagles, Bill Clinton, that fly, or there's trouble. They're coming after us. They're on to us. So that's what that is. A big old dig by Q. Meet me in Seoul. Coincidence? Expand your thinking. Why did Hussein travel to Asia? We know. He was traveling to Asia before the president before POTUS and after POTUS. He was trying to warn and get help, and then after POTUS, he was trying to get new handlers and new funding sources. Didn't seem to go well with them. When was the stringer released? When was the red videotaped? Do you believe in coincidences? No. Not sure what any of that stuff means, but we'll be finding out. Learn to read the map. You have more than you realize. Yes, we do have more than we realize. All right. Dates 25, 27, 28. Stringer, red, Asia. Analyze the connection. Learn to read the map. And a lot of Q patriots by now, even in 256 drops, were like all over this. Brilliant people in the Q, guys. As amateurs. I'm not one of them. All right, this is where we picked up. Red Cross, red. North Korea, Hussein, Asia. So, Red Cross, corrupt. It's just a mess. Why was that stringer sent out? Decode. News unlocks message. Future proofs past. Where is the Red Cross? Geneva, Switzerland. Runs deep. Children pray. So the pedophilia right there is coming out. Red 9/11. Okay, red 9/11. We pick up there. Red Cross. Red Cross causing disasters to collect donations, of which very little goes to disaster relief. That is true. They cause disasters. So Q saying, as Q has said, red 9/11. So they, because they're part of these guys, the Illuminati caused 9/11, and here comes Red Cross in to help, raises a bunch of money, and distributes very little. What a scam, man. You know, Q's right. The more we find out, the madder we get. The more we find out, the madder we get. That's why we can't know everything all at once, because most of us would be put in the hospital, as Q has said. Oversight, there is none. 710 plane crashes are all targets. Plane crashes are used as a way to eliminate persons who know information dangerous to the cabal and network of bad actors. Those who've acted on behalf of the same whistleblowers, political opponents, rivals, potential witnesses in criminal investigations. 9/11, Titanic. I mean, plane crashes. Those in the know will never sleep. And I think they're talking about the good guys and the bad guys. At this point, those in the know better look out for themselves. And those are the good guys that know, we're just suffering from insomnia. This stuff is so bad. Hey, Divine Miss M, we got to talk. We got to talk, Divine Miss M. So maybe tomorrow we can arrange something. I need your help. Yes, this is all very, 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 very sad. All right, I think our last one, hopefully. No, but we'll read it anyways because it's important. Who knows where the bodies are buried? Flynn. Flynn is safe. We protect our patriots. So you can imagine that there are some of the most scary men in the military that are posted for guard duty around Flynn's house. And there is a corridor of security above and around him. Oh, cool, Miss M. Today I've got a lot of stuff going on. It's not going to be today, but it's definitely going to be tomorrow. So I'll reach out to you at a decent hour in Southern time. I'm filled with tick bone bugs. If they wanted my blood, I'd have to charge, because I drink some very fine red wines, and I think probably about my blood alcohol content is probably a legal limit. So. Oh, the bushfires. And you know the bushfires, Tap Boy, that was all arson. That was all arson. I don't know, Windows Seat. It is crazy. We are in mad times. All right, now for some good news. Let's see, is this? Go ahead and put that away. For some good news, I want to sign off with some good news. Epstein's chef is now fully cooperating with the FBI. These are drops. This came out Saturday 19th. Do you know which newspaper it came out of? Nothing in the United States of America. Nope. This is coming out of Metro, which is a newspaper in the UK. And it's saying Prince Andrew under more pressure as Epstein's chef fully cooperates. Epstein's personal chef talks about what he saw, what he knew. And the personal chef often flew on the Lolita Express, or was wherever Epstein was, dazzling Epstein's, hold on, guys, there's going to be a noise here in a second. I got to turn up the volume. Sorry about that. All right. Epstein, I mean, all Epstein was a pimp, so it would be Epstein's clients, right? That's all he was a pimp. So the chef was a serving to Jeffrey's clients, and he can name names. He is naming names. He is naming names and what he saw. And the chef came forward after he got a letter from Virginia Giuffre saying, please don't be an enabler. Be a hero to me. It's just hard to read that. It's hard to read that. And so, yeah, he's like, oh, all right, let's do this. And he's doing it. So Giselle, the chef, and several other people, I'm sure. I wonder how many bodies the chef did cook. That's a very valid question. Yeah, they're cannibals. They're cannibals. They are cannibals. Jeffrey, Ghislaine, cannibals. Yes, I'm sure that he cooked up human bodies. Ooh, this is going to get big. Yeah, that was very cool. Windows Seat sent me a link to a video where the rapper MIA sang Paper Planes. Yep. How much they paid? It depends, Divine Miss M. It was run by the wealthy elite for the wealthy elite. So those who could afford to pay the prices that Epstein wanted to be part of that club paid it gleefully. And then the rest that enjoyed it were either enjoying it because they were about to be blackmailed, or they were enjoying it so that it was just a cheap way to get people, to influence people, to have them come to the island, and Pleasure Island, and do what they want. If they couldn't afford it, and all you wanted to get was influence out of them and a little bit of blackmail, then you had a long line of people that are wannabes that couldn't wait to be, with close to Bill Clinton at a function and having sex in the same orgy as I don't know who, great star, Yeah, and Ghislaine Maxwell had a submarine license. Many of these yachts have submarines, and I bet for the only reason is to traffic kids. To traffic kids. It is horrendous. Horrendous. So this guy is going to be telling quite the tale. Also, this has been popping up again and again and again. John Roberts on the Lolita Express log. How many important John Roberts are there? There's been a lot of whisper campaigns about this John Roberts. Wouldn't it be interesting if we have a Supreme Court justice have to resign after the election? Wouldn't that just be interesting, guys? And look, John Roberts has voted at least 4 to 5 times that I know against his principal way, especially when he voted for the Obama tax, which he said was a fee, and that was the cornerstone of the failing unconstitutionality of Obamacare. It was John Roberts' vote, and he voted against his principles. There has been 4 solid times that John Roberts has voted against the interests of the country and against the interests of his own established principles that we know of oh so well. So there's a reason that John Roberts has voted that way, and there's a reason that John Roberts' name is on that flight log. And I think after the election that this John Roberts is going to have to come clean. Yeah, Trump will have 4 judges. Oh my God, was it not embarrassing? All the liberals that were just going off on Ruth Ginsburg for not retiring during Obama and dying. Couldn't wait to 2021. Come on, liberal, look at the landscape. How do you think Biden is going to win 2021 outside of stealing the election? And we've already got all that figured out. We've already got all of that figured out, so they're not going to steal the election. But not one person that voted for Trump is not voting for Trump. The people that voted for Trump the first time are doubly enthusiastic to go vote for him this time. Then you got all the people that are in the walk away movement. You've got all the Tim Pools of America who a year ago said, I will never be voting for Trump, to today saying, I'm voting for Trump. I've got an interview with a millennial, and she was never Trumper, way lib, and through being through that lockdown, for so many people it caused them to take the red pill. And finally, the black vote has collapsed for the Democratic Party. The black vote has collapsed. No, I'm going to say that Tapboy. I'm gonna have to call on that rumor of dying January 2019. She performed a wedding in August of this year, and it was her. Oh God, it was her. It was her. So if she would have died at 2019 and President Trump would have known it, believe me, he wanted to put her in, put somebody in there before now. So I've seen that rumor, and I'm just going to. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. It's 2020. Anything could happen. I could be wrong. So let me give you that caveat. The bruise. Yep. 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 Yeah, there is a lot of black vote that's still there. There's a lot of black folk that there they are. But because you guys know my political background, and most of y'all have heard this story before, in 2016 election day, after I went to go vote and everything, and I did my work for the day, probably around 2 or 3 o'clock, I started calling all my contacts that I knew that were running campaigns or involved in campaigns, and that had election station monitors, people that are at the monitoring at the election at the polling place, and they keep an eye on the who votes, verifying to make sure that they keep the same tally. Both Democrats and Republicans are usually doing that. And so I called my friends, and by 2 or 3 o'clock, I knew that if the black vote was not strong by 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, then that Hillary's black support had collapsed. And call after call, everybody told me the same thing. Black vote is not coming out. Not coming out, not coming out. So election night, everybody stayed up to about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. The left was, as we know, screaming by 2 o'clock in the morning. I was sound asleep by 9:30, 10 o'clock. Ah, Kitty. That is so difficult. That is so difficult. I don't know what to tell. All of us have family members that are still blue pilled, and no matter what you say, no matter what you do, the Bruce is like that. He's the same way. He's got family members that all blue pilled. And I feel bad for y'all. That's one of the reasons I'm really glad I live by myself, because I don't have to. And I'm not one to watch what I say. One of my dear friends in the town here, he's a devout communist. He's a Marxist. He doesn't know it, but he's finally admitted it. But he doesn't understand what being a Marxist actually is. He's not allowed himself to go that deep and study it. He just thinks everybody should be equal, and the government should give you a house and food, and whatever you do with your life from there, but the government should pay for house and food. And he won't budge from that. And so we get very, very, very mad at each other. I'll just leave his house. I'm like, fine, I'm going, I'm leaving. He's like, oh, you're just leaving, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I'm leaving, blah, 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 blah. We don't yell at each other, but we're very, very mad at each other. And that's how Spain is. It's great. And, no push, no, any of that. You just get mad at each other. Ya, me voy, esto ya me ha cansado, estoy aburrido con esto, me voy. No, me voy. No me digas más, que me voy. No, estamos bien. We're good. But I'm just not going to listen to your bull anymore. And because we both can't watch we can't behave. But we still are just very dear friends. We care for each other very much. But he's not going to see my way, and I ain't going to see. I'm not going to be a Marxist. Who will I mail in my vote from Spain? Yes, yes. It's already gone. It's already on its way. You contact the embassy, and they give you a number, and you call, and you identify yourself, and then yeah, it's the same as an absentee ballot. Mail-in voting is not what people do. Absentee ballots are what Americans do. If you're not going to vote on election day, then you go to whatever's an authenticated place to receive a ballot. So you provide your identification, you sign wherever your name is on the registrar's sheet, and then you take your absentee ballot. Mail-in voting is illegal. I don't know what this thing called mail-in voting is, but it's not what we do and have been doing for the last 100 years. Absentee ballot voting is not mail-in voting. Cognitive dissonance is exactly what it is. Yeah, we all have people in the family like that. We all have family members like that. It is very, very depressing, frustrating, and it's all due to this guy, man. Fundamentally, Karl Marx and Saul Alinsky. The 12 rules for radicals are what create the cognitive dissonance. If you push a negative hard enough, it will push through and become a positive. The threat is usually more terrifying than the thing itself. Keep pressure on, never let up. That is why Nancy Pelosi behaves the way she does. That's why Harry Reid behaved the way he did, and now Schumer. They have to obey these laws. These are their laws. They don't obey the Constitution. They don't obey the laws of the United States. They only obey Saul Alinsky's laws. And they think they're the heroes of their own story. Go ahead, Kitty. Very good. Guys, let me say one thing about this virus. Most of you know that one of my jobs, the things that I do is teach children English online, and is to teach Chinese children. I'm fascinated by the Chinese culture. So when I had the opportunity to teach Chinese English online, I jumped at it. And so I have roughly 30 students that I teach now. They run the gamut. There's some very bad kids to just, little angels that they rob your heart chords. You're the best, and there's just some ones that are just terrible. They're great. I've never had kids, so it's wonderful. But most of my students are now mask-free in China, and the Chinese children do not miss a class. English is very, very. It's a law in China that the Chinese must learn English. And so, and just the way the Chinese are about education, Mao wasn't that far away from them, okay? And the grandparents know Mao, and the parents know Mao. They don't want their children to be ignorant, poor, and stuck in a farm again. So they make sure they learn. So these kids never, ever, ever miss a lesson. And I had, and they were letting me know that, we don't wear that mask that much anymore. A lot of people do because they're worried, but it's not enforced. And I had a family Sunday that I was teaching the son, and the family was in the park with no mask. And they showed me around, and nobody in the park had masks. In China, no vaccine. There is no pandemic. There is no pandemic. There is no pandemic. So by the end of this month, beginning of next month, the Trump administration is going to make that clear. They're going to make that clear. And mind you, everybody's yelling, testing, the testing, oh, it's the testing, look, the numbers going up. This is testing for anything that is common cold related. Common cold, flu, anything, even if you're sick or not. We're carriers, most of us are carriers of the common cold, and it just manifests itself. So, you know, man, it's nuts. So yeah, if anybody doesn't believe you about this Chinese thing, have them make contact with me. I will do a Zoom call with them, and you know, if I need to take some pictures and prove it to them, you know, I will. But no, I mean, the pandemic is over in China, and I even showed a commercial where they were closing the last emergency hospital in March, and they did a whole mask off. Here, we'll show that again before we go, as we wind this up. Doctors in Wuhan, epicenter. Oh, it's go crazy, Wuhan. We'll have to burn Wuhan. Wuhan's destroyed. Saturday, 14 March 2020, coronavirus. Wuhan doctors celebrate closure of last temporary hospital after dramatic fall in cases in China. Dramatic fall in cases in China. Epicenter. No antivirus. No vaccine. Nothing. But, you know, herbs and the great treatments that you get in China. All natural. And this is what just makes me mad. In Wuhan, China, and right now, half of America is yelling, social distancing, put your mask on, put your mask on. No, March 2020, China declared victory. And now, I mean, still to this day, people around the world getting stuff up their noses. Have them come on the channel. And Kitty, I'd be happy to have a private Zoom call and show them all of these facts. The second fact is this other news piece from here in Spain, which is Moderna, which is the company that we all fear because it's Bill Gates' company that is doing, which is going to mess with our genetics. It's a Spanish article. It's translating to English. He's saying if it takes 2 doses to get rid of the pandemic, we will find a way to put them in. And then you go down to the third question. What can go wrong during the current phase 3 of the trial with 30,000 people? What worries me the most is that there are not enough infected and have the disease during the trial. It is great for society that the epidemiological situation is under control and the virus disappears. But the ability for us to do our phase 3, to get our vaccine out and demonstrate its efficiency of the vaccine depends on having more cases in the control group. In Europe, they don't have 30,000 cases. Oh, what's the date of this? Good question. 27 August. And Spain is going into a massive lockdown again. We're already in semi-lockdown and have to wear our masks. Which is fine by me because, you know, I've got an awesome apartment and I enjoy my own company. That's fine. Isolation for Basque is, if we don't have to deal with a lot of people, we're great. But there's not enough in Europe, in all of Europe, for 30,000 cases. And this guy says, if it takes 2 doses to get rid of the pandemic, We'll find a way to put them in. This the translation is off because it's translated. But this doctor, this medical professional says the same voice, but we don't have 30,000 cases. So the pandemic is gone. There is no pandemic. Oh, that's horrible, Divine Miss M. And I bet you she didn't get the treatment that she required. So yes, something was released, but this released thing was not normal, and whether it was designed or to go away on its own, or whether whoever released it put a time bomb into the virus, it is going away on its own. And a lot of people were put on ventilators, but were not given proper treatment. And it's being said that nobody should have been put on ventilators. I don't know. There's so many questions as far as that goes. So yeah, that's the skinny, guys. That is the skinny. All right, I've got some meetings having to do with Austin here shortly, so I'm going to have to wind this up. By Friday, I want us to see Austin be free. By Friday, guys. So that's the challenge I'm putting before the Breadcrumbs committee, and I want y'all to think about it. And tomorrow I'll probably be asking you to take some actions. She was 19. That's so wrong. The Creator frustrates the aims of the wicked all the time. Trust the plan. Good always wins. All right, guys. All right, Tap Boy. Go to sleep, man. Thank you for staying up late. Thank you for all your help, all your direction. And, I hope we disagree often in the future, because, it's fun to disagree. And it's fun to do it with good people. All right, guys. Y'all are the rockinest best in the whole wide internets and YouTubery. Coming back with a vengeance tomorrow, so know that I'm just getting started on this thing. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you. If you have not hit the like button, hit the like button. If you had not hit the subscribe button, hit the subscribe button. But most importantly, become a member of the Breadcrumbs Project. That way, I know I won't lose you in the chicanery that YouTubery does with us conservative YouTubers. So please join the project. And all right, Yolanda, great. I start early. I'm in Spain, so my first video goes up at 5 a.m. Eastern. But you can catch it. It'll go into its own video after, it just does. You'll be able to see it. But 1 p.m. definitely. I don't know what your time zone is, Yolanda. But and don't forget to get your merch. Don't forget to get your merch. That's in the link in below. The Bruce does great work on that stuff as well. Think good thoughts, do good deeds, say good words. Bye.